Well, when I became an orphan, I took a real strong look around me and said, okay, forgiveness.
The Judds, an iconic duo in country music, captured hearts worldwide with their powerful harmonies and undeniable chemistry. This mother-daughter pair, Naomi and Winona, soared to stardom in the 1980s, blending country with pop influences, creating a sound that was both timeless and revolutionary. Their music became anthems of the genre, with unforgettable hits like Mama He's Crazy and Love Can Build a Bridge. But their success wasn't without struggle. Behind the scenes, Naomi battled health issues that would eventually affect the duo's career. Despite their immense popularity, personal challenges, including Naomi's diagnosis of hepatitis C, led to their difficult decision to part ways in the early 90s. In recent years, Winona has opened up about the emotional toll of that decision, shedding light on the trials that ultimately ended their musical partnership. The Judds' story is a testament to both their triumphs and their struggles, leaving a lasting legacy in country music. The Judds' journey began in the early 1980s, when a Nashville music executive first discovered their unique blend of country and pop music. Naomi and Winona's undeniable chemistry and harmonies quickly captured the attention of the industry, setting the stage for their rise to fame. Formed as a mother-daughter duo, the Judds brought a fresh, dynamic sound to country music, merging traditional roots with contemporary pop influences. Their debut album, Why Not Me, released in 1984, became a massive success, catapulting them into the spotlight. The album resonated with country music fans, featuring a mix of heartfelt ballads and upbeat tracks that showcased their powerful vocals. Songs like Mama He's Crazy, Why Not Me, and Grandpa, Tell Me About the Good Old Days not only dominated the charts, but also became country anthems. Their ability to blend personal storytelling with captivating melodies made their music universally relatable. In their first few years, the Judds' success was nothing short of extraordinary. With multiple hit singles and widespread radio play, they quickly became one of country music's most beloved duos. Their sound, rich with harmonies and an unmistakable sense of intimacy, connected with audiences on a deep level. The Judds were not just another country act, they were a phenomenon that transformed the genre and set new standards for musical storytelling. In the midst of their remarkable success, Naomi Judd's health took a sudden and devastating turn. In the late 1980s, Naomi was diagnosed with hepatitis C, a chronic liver disease that would drastically change the course of her life and career. At the time, treatment options for hepatitis C were limited, and Naomi found herself battling not just the physical effects of the illness, but the emotional toll it took on her as well. The virus slowly attacked her liver, causing severe fatigue, pain, and eventually liver damage. As Naomi's health deteriorated, the demands of performing and maintaining the rigorous schedule of touring became increasingly difficult. While Naomi's strength and dedication to her music kept her going for as long as she could, the strain on her body became too much to bear. The impact was not just physical. The emotional toll on both Naomi and Winona was profound. The weight of Naomi's illness, combined with the pressures of their fame, created a strain that threatened the very foundation of the Judds. Naomi's vulnerability became a central part of their story. While she had always been seen as a strong, nurturing figure both on stage and off, the illness revealed a different side of her. Fans who once saw Naomi as the embodiment of strength now saw her struggling to maintain her health, and it became clear that the future of the Judds was uncertain. As Naomi's condition worsened, it became impossible for her to continue the grueling pace of touring, recording, and performing that had defined the duo's rise to fame. The physical and emotional strain of her illness, along with the limitations of available treatments, led to the inevitable decision to step back from her career, leaving both Naomi and Winona to confront the reality that their time as the Judds was coming to an end. As Naomi's health continued to deteriorate, the strain on the Judds became more than just a physical challenge. It began to affect their personal and professional lives in ways that no one could have anticipated. Naomi's battle with hepatitis C was not only a physical hardship, but also a deep emotional burden. The disease left her exhausted, both mentally and physically, and the relentless demands of touring and recording intensified her struggles. The once vibrant woman who had captivated audiences with her warmth and nurturing presence was now faced with the harsh reality of her body's limitations. This challenge was further complicated by Naomi's long-standing battle with depression, a mental health struggle she had quietly endured for years. While her diagnosis of hepatitis C brought her physical symptoms to the forefront, Naomi's mental health had always been an invisible battle. For much of their career, Naomi had worked tirelessly to support Winona and their music, but behind the scenes, the pressure was starting to take its toll. Naomi began to retreat emotionally, as the weight of her illness, combined with the demands of fame, created a sense of isolation. At times, she struggled to maintain her connection with Winona and others around her, creating tension within their close-knit partnership. For Winona, this period marked a pivotal turning point in her personal and professional life. As Naomi's health declined, Winona found herself stepping into the spotlight more than ever before, not only as a talented singer, but as a woman emerging into her own independence. She began to develop her own identity, one that was separate from the duo that had defined her career. The pressures of fame, however, weighed heavily on her. Winona was now forced to navigate the complexities of being a solo artist while maintaining the legacy of the Judds. This period of growth was marked by conflicting emotions: the desire to honor her mother's legacy, the need to assert herself as an individual, and the overwhelming expectations of the public. The emotional strain on both Naomi and Winona intensified as they tried to balance their familial bond with the demands of their careers. Naomi, struggling with the effects of her illness, could no longer be the guiding force she once was for Winona. This shift created a growing sense of distance between the two women. Despite their shared history, both personally and musically, there were moments when the weight of Naomi's health, Winona's desire for independence, and the pressure of their fame led to difficult conversations and feelings of frustration. In the midst of these challenges, the duo's relationship was tested in ways it had never been before. Naomi's illness was a constant reminder that the future was uncertain, and for Winona, it became harder to reconcile her deep love for her mother with the need to carve out her own path. As a young woman with an increasingly strong sense of identity, Winona was growing into a force in her own right. But the bond they shared, one that had been built on their music, their love for one another, and their shared journey, was beginning to shift. Naomi's health struggles also had a profound impact on Winona's personal life. The emotional toll of seeing her mother suffer, combined with the challenges of maintaining their professional relationship, caused Winona to struggle with feelings of guilt and confusion. She wanted to honor her mother and the music they had created together, but at the same time, she felt the weight of needing to become her own person, an artist and a woman beyond the Judds. As Naomi's health worsened, Winona was left to navigate these complex emotions on her own. The constant balancing act between personal identity, family dynamics, and professional obligations was overwhelming for both women. For Naomi, the emotional toll of her illness led to moments of doubt and withdrawal as she struggled to remain present, both as a mother and a performer. For Winona, The emotional burden of watching her mother suffer while trying to establish herself as a solo artist created a deep inner conflict. She found herself torn between the need to take care of her mother and the desire to honor her own ambitions. The pressures of fame and the demands of the music industry only intensified these challenges, leading to an emotional strain that affected both their relationship and their music. As the pressures continued to build, both Naomi and Winona faced moments of personal identity crisis. Naomi, once the strong matriarch of the Judds, had to come to terms with her vulnerability, something she had not been accustomed to showing the public. Winona, on the other hand, was learning how to separate her identity as a daughter from her identity as an artist, something that was complicated by her deep love for her mother and the legacy they had built together. Their shared struggles, the physical toll of Naomi's illness, and the emotional strain of their roles became an integral part of their story, one that would shape both their music and their relationship for years to come. In the end, the personal and professional challenges they faced behind the scenes were as significant as the triumphs they experienced on stage. The Judds' success wasn't just built on their music. It was a result of their deep bond, their resilience in the face of adversity, and their ability to push through the most difficult moments in their lives. However, as Naomi's health continued to decline and Winona grew as an independent artist, it became clear that their shared path was no longer sustainable in the way it once had been. The journey of the Judds was one of love, sacrifice, and growth, a journey that was deeply affected by the struggles they faced behind the scenes. In 1991, after years of unprecedented success, the Judds made the difficult and heart-wrenching decision to disband. Naomi's battle with hepatitis C had reached a point where continuing to tour and perform at the pace they had maintained was no longer physically feasible. Her declining health made it clear that the duo's time was running out. The weight of her illness, combined with the demands of the music industry, led to a decision that would change the course of their careers and the lives of everyone who had followed them. Naomi's health struggles had been well known by this time, and though she had continued to push forward with remarkable strength, it became apparent that she could no longer meet the demands of life on the road. The physical toll of her illness was simply too great, and her doctor's advice to reduce stress and avoid further physical strain left Naomi with no choice but to step away from the spotlight. It was a deeply emotional moment for Naomi, for Winona, and for their fans, as the Judds had become an inseparable force in country music. Their harmonies, their mother-daughter dynamic, and their musical legacy had touched the hearts of millions. The announcement of their disbandment was met with shock and profound sadness, as fans realized that their beloved duo would no longer be able to perform together. The heartbreak of the Judds' disbandment was not limited to the audience. For Naomi and Winona, the decision to part ways as a duo was a painful, complicated process. Their bond, both as family and as musical partners, had been the foundation of their entire career. To end that partnership, especially in the face of Naomi's health struggles, was a devastating decision that neither woman took lightly. Yet, despite the pain, there was a sense of understanding between them. Naomi's health had to take precedence, and both women knew it was time to make the heartbreaking choice to step away from the stage. The disbandment was officially announced to the public, marking the end of an era in country music. Fans who had followed the Judds since the beginning were devastated, as the duo had become a symbol of not only country music, but of family, love, and resilience. For so many, the Judds' music had been a constant source of comfort, strength, and joy. The thought of not hearing their harmonies together again felt like the end of an iconic chapter in music history. As they prepared for their final performance, the emotion of the moment was palpable. The farewell tour, which would become their final tour as a duo, was filled with deep reflection, nostalgia, and a profound sense of finality. For Naomi and Winona, it was not just a goodbye to the stage, but a farewell to a shared dream, a shared life, and a shared love for music. The concerts during this final tour were bittersweet. Crowds packed into arenas to see the Judds for the last time, knowing that this chapter of their lives was coming to an end. Each note they sang carried the weight of years of memories, triumphs, and struggles. The bond between Naomi and Winona, so evident in their performances, shone through in every song, making their final concerts a powerful and emotional experience for both the performers and their fans. As the final curtain came down on their farewell performance, there was a sense of completion. The Judds had reached the pinnacle of country music, and while their story was coming to a close, their legacy would live on. It wasn't just the end of their musical partnership, it was the end of a journey that had defined their lives for over a decade. For Naomi, stepping away from the stage was a necessary decision, but it did not come without its emotional toll. She had given so much of herself to the Judds, and walking away was one of the hardest decisions of her life. For Winona, this farewell was also a turning point. Though she was emerging as a solo artist, the decision to disband the Judds marked the end of a chapter that had shaped her entire identity as an artist. She was faced with the challenge of forging her own path while honoring the legacy of the Judds. The farewell tour was a moment of closure, but also one of new beginnings. It was an opportunity for both Naomi and Winona to reflect on their journey together, celebrate their success, and embrace the inevitable changes in their lives. In the years that followed, the Judds would continue to be remembered as one of the greatest acts in country music. Their music lived on in the hearts of fans, and the memories of their final performances served as a poignant reminder of what they had accomplished. The disbandment, while heartbreaking, was a necessary step in both Naomi and Winona's personal journeys. It allowed them both to move forward, to heal, and to eventually find new directions in their lives and careers. The decision to end the Judds was not just about the end of a musical partnership, it was about the strength, resilience, and love that had defined Naomi and Winona's journey together. Their final performances, though filled with sadness, were a celebration of everything they had achieved. The Judds' story, full of highs and lows, remained a testament to the power of family, music, and the indelible bond between a mother and her daughter. Following the Judds' disbandment, both Naomi and Winona ventured into new chapters of their lives, each pursuing solo careers that would further shape their individual legacies. While their time as a duo had come to an end, the influence of their shared musical journey continued to resonate in both of their paths. Winona quickly carved out her own space in the country music world, building upon the success she had achieved as part of the Judds. Her powerful voice and heartfelt songwriting propelled her to solo success. Winona released multiple albums that garnered commercial success and critical acclaim, establishing herself as a respected solo artist. Her music, while still rooted in country, evolved as she explored new styles and sounds, further demonstrating her versatility as a performer. As a solo artist, she embraced her independence, and the music world quickly recognized her talent, cementing her place as one of country's premier voices. While Winona focused on her musical career, Naomi turned her attention to personal growth and advocacy. After stepping away from the stage, Naomi became deeply involved in raising awareness about hepatitis C, the disease that had so profoundly impacted her life. She used her platform to educate the public about the disease, advocating for greater research and better treatment options. Naomi's openness about her own struggles with hepatitis C brought much-needed attention to a disease that was often misunderstood. Her efforts were not limited to just health issues. Naomi also became a vocal advocate for mental health, sharing her own battles with depression and encouraging others to seek help. Her advocacy work became an important aspect of her post-music career, and she quickly became a trusted voice in the fight for mental health awareness. Though they had gone separate ways professionally, both Naomi and Wynonna's careers were forever shaped by their time together as the Judds. The duo had given them a shared foundation of success, and their individual journeys continued to reflect the themes of resilience and determination that had defined their partnership. The impact of the Judds on both of their careers was undeniable. While they had each grown and evolved as artists, the bond they had shared and the music they had created together would always be a part of them. Whether through Wynonna's powerful solo albums or Naomi's tireless work as a health advocate, the legacy of the Judds remained alive in their work. Even after the Judds disbanded, their influence on country music remains as strong as ever. The duo's unique blend of harmonies, emotional depth, and relatable storytelling redefined the genre and left an indelible mark on both fans and fellow artists. Their legacy has endured through the years, continuing to inspire new generations of country musicians and fans alike. Songs like Mama He's Crazy, Love Can Build a Bridge, and Grandpa, Tell Me About the Good Old Days are not just hits. They are anthems that define the Judds' place in country music history. Each of these tracks encapsulates the heart and soul of the duo's music, authentic, heartfelt, and timeless. Mama He's Crazy became a breakout hit, showcasing the duo's ability to capture the complexities of love and family. Love Can Build a Bridge is a testament to their ability to blend traditional country with a message of hope and unity, while Grandpa, Tell Me About the Good Old Days resonated deeply with audiences for its nostalgic themes and rich storytelling. The Judds' music transcended their time together as a duo, influencing not only their contemporaries, but also paving the way for the next wave of country artists. Their sound, which combined traditional country with elements of pop and gospel, set a new standard for what could be achieved in the genre. Their success and impact inspired countless country artists who followed, and their legacy continues to echo through the works of musicians who cite the Judds as a major influence in shaping their careers. Despite their retirement from performing as a duo, the Judds have continued to receive recognition for their incredible contributions to country music. They have been honored with numerous awards, including multiple Grammy Awards, Country Music Association CMA Awards, and American Music Awards. Their music continues to be celebrated in tribute performances, and they remain a benchmark for excellence in the industry. The Judds' legacy is a testament to the enduring power of family, music, and authenticity. Values that continue to resonate with listeners of all ages. The relationship between Naomi and Wynonna Judd was one of profound love, but it was also marked by tension, conflict, and an ever-evolving dynamic. As a mother-daughter duo, they shared an extraordinary bond, built on years of making music together. Yet, like any relationship, theirs was far from perfect. The pressures of fame, the demands of the music industry, and their own personal struggles created moments of both harmony and discord. Throughout their career, Naomi and Winona faced unique challenges. Naomi, who had been both a mother and a manager to Winona, often found herself torn between the role of a supportive parent and the professional demands of the duo's career. Winona, as she grew older and more independent, began to assert her own identity, both as an artist and as a woman. This shift created some friction between the two, as Naomi's protective nature sometimes clashed with Wynonna's desire for autonomy. Their personal struggles, including Naomi's health issues and Wynonna's evolving sense of self, only added complexity to their relationship. The end of the Judds was a turning point that highlighted their differing perspectives. For Naomi, stepping away from the spotlight was a necessary decision due to her declining health. She had to prioritize her well-being, despite the emotional pain it caused her to leave the stage. Winona, on the other hand, found herself torn between honoring her mother's wishes and her own desire to continue the duo's success. The disbandment was a bittersweet moment for both, but it also marked a period of growth for each of them individually. They faced the challenges of moving forward in their careers while navigating the complexities of their personal bond. Over the years, Naomi and Winona experienced moments of tension, but they also had opportunities for reconciliation. Despite their differences, they always shared a deep love and mutual respect. As time passed, they found ways to reconnect, whether through emotional reunions or in moments of candid conversation. These moments of reconciliation reflected their ability to understand one another's struggles and recognize the deep connection they shared. Despite the conflicts and the challenges they faced, the bond between mother and daughter remained unbreakable, serving as a testament to the resilience of their relationship. In the end, Naomi and Winona's relationship was a mixture of love, tension, and growth. Through the highs and lows of their careers and personal lives, they remained connected by the music they had created together and the shared experiences that shaped them both. Their journey together was not always easy, but it was marked by a mutual respect that endured, even in the most difficult moments. Naomi and Winona's journey with mental health was a deeply personal and often painful one. Yet their willingness to be open about their struggles helped to bring much-needed attention to the challenges of mental illness. Naomi, despite her outward strength and success, had long battled with depression. For years, she carried the weight of this invisible struggle, but it was only later in her life that she openly shared her experiences with the world. Naomi's battle with depression was a complex, ongoing challenge that affected her deeply, both personally and professionally. Despite the emotional toll it took, Naomi's courage in speaking about her mental health struggles helped to destigmatize the issue, particularly within the country music community, where conversations about mental health had often been avoided. Naomi used her platform to advocate for mental health awareness, sharing her story to encourage others to seek help. Her openness about depression made it clear that even those who appeared to have it all were not immune to the pain of mental illness. Through her advocacy, Naomi became an important voice in raising awareness about the importance of mental health care, reminding her fans that it's okay to not be okay. She used her own experiences to inspire others to break the silence and seek the support they needed, becoming a trailblazer for mental health advocacy in the entertainment industry. For Winona, mental health was also an ongoing challenge, and her journey shaped much of her personal and professional life. As she navigated the pressures of fame, her own struggles with anxiety and depression were often exacerbated. Early on in her career, Winona felt the weight of constant scrutiny, which made it difficult for her to open up about her emotional difficulties. However, as time passed, she grew more comfortable sharing her own mental health journey. Winona began to speak candidly about her battles with self-doubt, anxiety, and depression, recognizing the importance of addressing these issues openly. Together, Naomi and Winona's willingness to discuss mental health helped break down barriers in country music, where such topics had often been shrouded in silence. Their transparency about their struggles gave fans permission to confront their own mental health challenges without shame. They played a crucial role in destigmatizing mental illness in the country music industry, paving the way for others to speak out about their own mental health journeys. Despite the ongoing struggles they faced, both Naomi and Winona demonstrated remarkable resilience. Through their personal hardships, they continued to perform, to create music, and to advocate for the causes they believed in. Their ability to persevere through adversity and their commitment to advocating for mental health left an indelible mark on their fans. By being open and vulnerable about their own challenges, they not only helped others feel less alone, but also showed that resilience is not about being perfect. It's about persevering, no matter the obstacles. Naomi and Wynona's legacy is one of strength, vulnerability, and the power of using one's platform to make a difference. Their openness transformed their own lives and the lives of countless others who were inspired by their courage. In 2010, Naomi and Wynonna Judd reunited for a deeply emotional and poignant moment in their musical journey, the last Encore tour. This reunion was not just about revisiting the past, but about finding closure for both their careers and their personal lives. After years of separation, this final tour marked a powerful reconciliation, giving both Naomi and Winona a chance to reflect on their shared legacy. It was a tribute to the music they had created together, to the bond they had formed, and to the incredible journey they had been on since the 1980s. However, the reunion was bittersweet. Naomi's health had significantly declined by this time, and it was clear that her struggle with hepatitis C and the physical toll it had taken on her was affecting her ability to perform. Despite the challenges, Naomi's determination to be part of this final chapter of the Judds story was evident in every performance. For both mother and daughter, these performances were filled with emotion, as they knew this would likely be the last time they would ever perform together on stage as the Judds. The last Encore tour was a celebration of their remarkable career, but it also served as a farewell to a chapter in both their lives. Their final moments together on stage were filled with gratitude, love, and reflection. Naomi and Winona shared the stage one last time, singing the hits that had defined their careers, while acknowledging the significance of the journey they had shared. The tour was not only about music, but about the closure they needed to move forward into the next phase of their lives, both as individuals and as artists. As the tour came to a close, both Naomi and Winona reflected on the incredible impact their partnership had made on the country music industry and on their fans. The performances were emotionally charged, as they recognized that the end of the Judds musical partnership also marked the end of an era. Their time together had shaped their careers, their personal identities, and their relationship. And the last Encore tour was a moment of closure for both mother and daughter, symbolizing the end of one chapter and the beginning of new journeys for both of them. Though this was the final performance as a duo, the bond between Naomi and Winona remained as strong as ever. The last Encore tour allowed them to say goodbye to the world as the Judds, while cherishing the incredible moments they had shared, leaving behind a legacy that would continue to influence the country music industry for years to come. The journey of the Judds is one of triumph, heartache, and enduring legacy. From their rise to fame in the 1980s to their final farewell, Naomi and Wynonna Judd's music touched hearts across the world. Their unique blend of harmonies, deeply emotional lyrics, and authentic storytelling revolutionized country music, leaving a lasting imprint on the genre and culture. Their influence continues to inspire artists and fans alike, proving that their impact goes far beyond their time together as a duo. At the heart of their story was an unbreakable bond, a love between mother and daughter that weathered the challenges of fame, illness, and personal struggles. That bond defined the Judds, creating a connection that transcended music and became a symbol of strength and resilience. Today, their legacy lives on in the hearts of millions, inspiring new generations to embrace the power of family, music, and perseverance. The Judds story remains a testament to the power of love, and the unforgettable mark they left on the world of country music.